Donald Trump is facing a new Epstein bombshell that ties a key decision in his presidency directly to the Epstein files and his crippling fear of what's in them. Once again, get the popcorn ready. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. Another week, another development that makes Donald Trump and his team of impotents look utterly terrified of Jeffrey Epstein's ghost. He's the most haunting man in America at the moment, no doubt much to the chagrin of Charlie Kirk's ghost. But that's another story. If you watch our channel on a regular basis, and if not, subscribe now. If you're keeping up with the news, you will no doubt know that both Democrats and Republicans, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, of all people, have vowed to vote to release the Epstein files as soon as the House comes back into session. The problem is, House Speaker Mike Tiny Johnson dismissed the House with the advent of the government shutdown, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense given the urgency of the shutdown and the need for negotiations for a new budget. The reason? Adelaida Grijalva, the newly elected congresswoman from Arizona, who has vowed to be the final vote needed to release the Epstein files. Johnson refuses to swear her in at the moment. Confronted about the mess yesterday, here's what Tiny Johnson had to say.
So you've said that you're not going to swear in newly elected Democratic Congresswoman Adelaida Grijalva until the House returns for regular session and the government reopens. In point of fact, you could, if you wanted to, swear in Grijalva tomorrow. Her election's now been certified. And you did swear in two members during pro forma sessions because their families were present. Congresswoman-elect Grijalva, her dad's not going to be able to attend the swearing in whenever it happens because he died, as you know. He was a member of Congress. She was elected to fill his seat. This move is delaying her constituents having elected representation. It's also denying her a moment for her to be sworn in to fill her late father's role. And look, I know you a little bit. That must bother you. Isn't it time just to swear her in already?
No, because so much of what you just summarized there is not accurate. Let me tell you what is accurate about it. First of all, I'm following the Pelosi precedent. When my dear friend and colleague from Louisiana, Julia Letlow, was elected under very similar circumstances in 2021, her late husband passed away, died of COVID, and they had a special election to fill the seat, and Julia won it. Nancy Pelosi took 25 days to administer the oath to Julia. Now, we didn't have press conferences and go banging on doors and make a big thing of it because we understood that is the regular process and tradition of the House. I am doing exactly the same thing. I have said 1,000 times in response to this, I am happy and anxious to administer the oath to Rep. Grijalva, and we will do that as soon as we return to legislative session.
If Johnson looks uncomfortable there, stay tuned. It gets even worse for him, and everyone else covering for Trump and Epstein. Also, point of order, is it just me, or does it seem like Tiny Johnson is pained because he's just getting screwed by his own party all the time? He's the pass-around party bottom of the Republican Party at this point. And if you don't know what that means, look it up, but make sure you don't do it at work. Trust me. Moving on. Democrats and even Republicans have growing frustration with Johnson's inaction, and now one other congressman has shed light on the reasons why. Speaking on MSNBC last night, firebrand Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell revealed a pair of bombshell reasons why Johnson doesn't want to seat Grijalva or bring the House back into session. Check this out. Now, this is a long clip, so make sure to watch the whole thing. Swalwell covers a lot here. Take a look.
And let's transfer that concept of a cover-up over to the non-swearing in of the new representative from Arizona. This is wild. First of all, there's no valid reason to not swear her in. The House leader has come up with all sorts of reasons that she needs the pomp and circumstance, she needs this, she needs that. A, that's not true. B, other people have been sworn in when the House, when there's been a shutdown. C, the House isn't in a shutdown itself. So none of this is true.
It's not true, Ali. And we are in an Epstein shutdown. Mike Johnson has shut down the Congress for almost 30 days because he doesn't want to find out how close Donald Trump is to Jeffrey Epstein, the largest, the biggest, the most notorious child sex trafficker America has ever known. And so who is paying the price? And I just want to give you an example. In my district yesterday, I was talking to a federal worker, and he was surprised to see me home. And he said, wait, why aren't you guys in Washington? Because in the last 3 shutdowns in the last 13 years, we've always been in Washington to find our way out. You're in a pressure cooker. That's how deals happen. The press are there to hold us accountable, and they're asking questions. So he was quite alarmed to learn that this is entirely about protecting Donald Trump from Jeffrey Epstein. And so he's not getting paid. Our troops' pay continues to be at risk. Health insurance premiums have not been put in place. And November 1, we're all going to find out what we're paying next year, month to month. And for what? To protect Donald Trump? So prove to me, Ali, this isn't about protecting the president and his connection to a pedophile.
So on the discharge petition, on the Epstein stuff, and I don't know how often regularly you agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but she agrees this is an Epstein shutdown. This can't go on forever. At some point, Adelita Grijalva is going to get sworn in. The 218 names will be there, and it's going to happen. So I don't really understand the strategy here.
It's the same thing with the subsidies, right? They're ultimately going to put those subsidies in place because the polling shows it would destroy them in the midterm if they left millions of Americans out to pay 300 to 400% more for their health care. So all they're doing is delaying the inevitable with Epstein because that vote's coming. But let me also share with you, Ali, what a Republican told me. He told me that when that vote happens, it's going to be what they call a, quote, jailbreak.
Right.
He said you will see over 100 Republican members vote for it.
Wow.
Because they know that their constituents are demanding it. So it's all coming out. And the American people shouldn't have to suffer for something that is so inevitable.
A jailbreak. That's interesting wording considering Epstein's ultimate fate, am I right? And if Swalwell is correct, this is great news for the Democrats and, more importantly, the American people. This stonewalling on Epstein and healthcare subsidies which are overwhelmingly favored by the American people, including Republicans, mind you, the stonewalling can't go on forever. And the longer Party Bottom Johnson and Trump obfuscate, the angrier the American people will be. Already both Trump and Johnson are terrified of the peaceful and patriotic No Kings rallies tomorrow, and gee, I wonder why. Could it be that they will show how out of touch and out of step Trump is with the American people? Is it an opportunity to voice dissatisfaction with our current predicament here in the United States? Try all of the above. The floodgates are on the brink of opening, and this is an opportunity. Take part in the protests this weekend, carry your American flag, and let Party Bottom Johnson know it's time to do his job. Restore the healthcare subsidies and release the Epstein files. And remind Donald Trump he can always resign. We'd all be a lot happier if he did. This is Occupy Democrats.